Greetings everybody, this is Serpentine451 and welcome back to another episode of Weeb Warriors. It's finally here, folks. We are here on this fantastic journey. We are well into winter 2020. Let's start with our shows that are carrying over from the last season. Let's go with My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 76, where we get to see 100% All for One used by Deku. In his further battle with Chisaki, we had a moment where they played a song that was beautiful for that scene, but regardless, everyone's a bit caught in the scuffle. The big dude that feeds on life energy took the quirk boosting drug that started draining the life force of everyone around them during the battle that he had with Ryukyu, Nejire, Froppy, and Uraraka, which led to them crashing in during the battle between Chisaki and Deku. But this leads to everyone getting Night-Eye, but he's on his last legs. And then Chisaki combines with the big dude using his quirk overhaul to create a kaiju-sized monster man to just take down people, but Deku just gives it his all and takes down the villain with the help of Eri, and it was just fantastic. I will say that 100%. Next up, welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. This episode I will be reviewing here focuses primarily on Kiriwo following through the orders of his big brother, big bro, or Aniki in that sense, to destroy Babulus, to cause so much chaos that it would make the demon world more equal during the Battlers Party event to basically implement a new rule, so to speak. But it is seemingly clear that with this secret room he can see everyone, and within that blast radius he would be the only one that would survive. But when Iruma finds this secret room, he was like, "The hell is this? What's going on? How were you able to do this?" And he's like, "Oh, my ring found where you were." All this great stuff. And Iruma is really connecting with his senpai here, but his senpai has darker motives. More darker than Iruma could ever realize. It's pure chaos. But still, this show is very funny and enjoyable. Now, let's move on to the shows that are in the midst of reviewing. Well, I guess I will be first talking about interspecies reviewers, and since this is a review series where it's not safe for anyone under the age of 13 or so, or whatever the Coppola say. And plus, this show is not for children anyhow. When Funimation itself has to say, this show has content of a sexual nature, viewer discretion is advised. He's like, yeah, this anime is not for younger folks, don't watch it. Because this is a show about pounding pussy and basically putting numbers to monster girls. When you have a human bonking an elf, and an elf bonking a gorilla-looking woman that is much older than the human. And their taste in women actually being compared, contrasted, all that fun, crazy shit. And then you have an angel who came down to Earth who has both the peen and the V, going to town on a cat girl, which we'll be talking about a different sort of cat girl later, if I haven't talked about them already, but that's besides the point. Still. And then when we talk about bird girls in our crew, Stank, Zell, and Krem, later Krem comes along. Stunk is the human, Zell is an elf, and Krem is the angel. Yep, this is a show where basically they bonk monster girls from different parts of their world, and they put together a compilation of their experiences in the sack for every other adventurer to read. And it's fucking amazing. Quite literally. Next up, let's talk about Nicopata, the anime that I've been waiting for the longest time. If I've already did a review of Nicopata, well, you're in luck. I'm going to talk about it twice. Because this glorious show makes me happy and overjoyed. Because this is a show that will come out well, essentially in this episode we are introduced to all of our beautiful cat girls again. And they have their own little misadventures. Shigure is feeling a little left out because her cat girls are feeling more connected to her older brother and she isn't. She's just losing track of them. And she's feeling out of place for the first part of the episode. This takes place after Volume 3. And this is where we get an anime-only character in the form of a little cat girl, or a little Neko, that has yet to have a name yet. But for all intents and purposes, I will call her Mint, because her color scheme is very green, so I will call her Mint. And we are introduced to Mint when Chocla goes to buy some sauce for some salmon, or some fish, I don't recall if it's salmon or tuna, for Kasho and their younger sisters, well, for the cat girls. This is dinner with Kasho, or Master Nut, as my buddy Jay would like to call him, or Noble from Lost Buzz would like to call him too. But still, far be it from those guys. In the visual novels, folks, he bonks them cat girls like they're bongo drums. It's fucking great. And that's essentially Nicopata. It's just a slice of life show where it's going to be very toned down from the visual novels. Well, it's going to be like the visual novels if you just remove the H scenes in there, which is great. It's great with the H scenes, it's great without the H scenes. And this anime is just going to be enjoyable, because I love all of these characters. They're enjoyable, and Azuki's my favorite, even though her finish makes me gag. Next up, let's go to the other shows we're adding onto the review cycle. Let's start with Bofuri. Essentially, what I can compare this show to be is essentially Sword Art Online with a female lead that doesn't suck and is played straight for laughs. So we have our girl here. What was her name again? Well, let's go by her character's name, Maple. Maple is this adorable girl who just uses everything in her. She starts this MMORPG, this VRMO, this big RPG with a VR headset. And we get her whole role. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to be creating this character. And I don't want to get hurt. So I'm going to max out all my defenses so I don't get hurt at all. I'm like, wonderful. I love this idea. And it's perfect. And so she goes on this adventure where she becomes a great shield and short sword wielder. And as she goes on her adventure, she takes no damage because she just maxed out her stats in defense. And she was able to not only beat monsters and gain great skills, but she also took down a poison dragon by eating the fucker. And she gained an immunity to poison and was able to use the power of this dragon and gain new fancy armor from it. So that's essentially what happened in the episode. It was still... I thought I wasn't going to enjoy this show simply because its art style from the poster or from the image that I saw of it didn't really catch my eye. It just rather bored me. It's just going to be rather dull and boring or kind of dumb, in my honest opinion, but I was proven wrong. I thought it was rather enjoyable. And now let's go to Plunderer. In a world where basically you're given a number, and this number is a symbol of something connected to you. Like our protagonist here. What was her name again? What was Cutie's name again? Hina. Hina was given an interesting item before she's pulled into what's called the Abyss. Essentially, what this Abyss place is, it takes people down to somewhere when their count reaches 0. And her mother tells Hina to find the legendary ace. Well, in this episode, she ends up finding the ace because it comes from an unusual source where a gentleman who is a massive pervert decides to try to check her out, beg her for money, all this stuff. Turns out to be the ace she's looking for with a star and a high number on his katana blade. Well, there's more to this show that I could talk about, but I think you guys should just check it out for yourselves. It's a rather enjoyable show. So, a lot of these shows, like Interspecies Reviewers, Nicopata, Plunder, and Bufari, are all on Funimation, and Plunderer has not only its subbed version, but it also, on the same day, got its dubbed version. So I'm very curious to see how this will turn out, and I'm looking forward to what's going on. Plus, the character models in this show look great. I really enjoy it, and plus, Hina looks adorable. I love the look of this show. And now finally, we get to the only Amazon Prime show, Pet. And this is the second episode, where we focus on the events that happen after episode 1, where Iritoki, I believe is his name, Hiroki, and Tsukasa go into Kenji's mind in order to manipulate it, because Katsuragi ordered them to crush Kenji, basically getting rid of him because he presents a liability. But through some machinations of their own and a bump in the road thanks to Katsuragi, they were able to actually work past the problem, and Kenji will forget whatever happened with his business partner. I forgot his name, but this all leads to a little bit more exploration and lore connected to these individuals with psychic abilities, and we get reintroduced to the kid from the first episode where he dyed his hair, he has earrings, and he looks more like a punk. And we got to see a bit of an exploration of how some people use their psychic abilities to explore the mind. And we get to explore a little bit of that lore. And I seriously think that's very interesting. And there's a lot of, there's some overtones in this show that could be very, very homosexual in that way, but hey, if Jay watched Banana Fish for a while, I think he can get past at least the first one of the scenes in the first episode. And yeah, the undertones are there. And although I'm not gay, but when it comes to shows with interesting concepts and places that they want to go with, I really want to see where this leads. I want to know what this show is all about, and I'm very curious. So I am all set and ready to go. And so let's talk about, what should I propose a question? What question should I propose? I tend to repeat a lot of stuff here, and for the sake of repetition, there's some shows that I kind of fall back on in a way. I love rewatching old shows when they have subs and they get dubs. I want to see it from the dub watcher's perspective. And I like to rewatch shows that I've watched countless times for many years on different platforms, and simply because I own them now. Like, one of my favorite anime of all time, based on one of my favorite manga series of all time, Rosario Vampire, I bought both seasons 1 and 2 of Rosario Vampire on Blu-ray. And I am looking forward to it, even though I think season 2 of the anime is weak compared to the season 2 of the manga, which I think is a much better representation of the manga series as a whole. But the first season isn't hindering in any case. And my question here is that, since I like to revisit things and have fun and enjoy myself, what is everyone else's, not necessarily a guilty pleasure, but an anime that you guys like to rewatch over and over again simply because you enjoy it? Or for the sake of reviews like myself, or for the sake of reviewers like myself, you want to explore one of the things that makes you think about anime, or is actually something about or is your bread and butter, like I don't know, reviewing harem shows on a constant basis, or reviewing ecchi anime that just so happen to have harem elements in it. Well, regardless, this has been Serpentine 451, and this has been another episode of Weeb Warriors, guys. This is just going to be great and amazing. And if you want to have a special review of Interspecies Reviewers where I go balls to the wall crazy, you have my buddy Jay to thank for this little nugget. You just get me completely sauced, and I will talk about that anime until the day, until I fall asleep passed out drunk. And that's going to be an enjoyable time. Catch you guys later.